Hello, our lovely English lovers. Welcome back to Grammar and Writing Academy, your destination for mastering English. In today's video, we will explore one of the most important concepts in grammar, clauses. We will focus on four types: independent clauses, subordinate clauses, adjective clauses, and adverb clauses. Let's break them down step by step so you can easily identify and use them in your writing. So, what is the importance of a clause? Understanding clauses helps you write more compound and complex sentences. It also improves both your writing and reading comprehension. So, are you ready for that adventure? I think you are as usual. Let's go. Let's have a question. Who can tell me what do we mean by a clause? Let me help you. A clause is a group of words that contains both a subject and a verb. It can either be a complete sentence, independent clause, or just part of a sentence, dependent clause. Attention! The dependent clause has another name, which is a subordinate clause. So, we conclude that we have two types of clauses. 1. Independent clause. Can stand alone as a complete sentence. Second dependent clause. Cannot stand alone. It needs an independent clause to complete its meaning. Let's have some examples to have better understanding. Note: in case you have a comma and a coordinating conjunction or a semicolon, you will have two independent clauses. But if you have two clauses joined by a subordinating conjunction or a relative pronoun, in this case, the dependent clause will start with the subordinating conjunction or the relative pronoun, and the rest of the sentence will be independent. Do not worry. You will have more details about that when we explain the adjective clause and the adverb clause in the second part of this video. Example 1. He didn't study well, so he didn't pass the test. He didn't study well. Here we have a subject which is he, a verb which is did study. We have both a subject and a verb, and we have a complete idea for that reason. He didn't study well is an independent clause. This independent clause is followed by a comma and the coordinating conjunction, so the second part is, he didn't pass the test. Here we have a subject which is he, a verb which is did pass. So we have a complete thought. He didn't pass the test is an independent clause. We have two independent clauses joined by a comma and the coordinating conjunction. So, example 2. I wanted to go swimming. The pool was closed. I wanted to go swimming. Here we have a subject which is I, a verb which is wanted. We have both a subject and a verb, and we have a complete idea. That is why I wanted to go swimming is an independent clause. This independent clause is followed by a semicolon that replaces a comma and the coordinating conjunction but. The second part is, the pool was closed. Here we have a subject which is pool, a verb phrase which is was closed. So we have a complete thought. The pool was closed is an independent clause. We have two independent clauses joined by a semicolon that replaces a comma and the coordinating conjunction but. I hope it becomes clear. Let's have more examples. Example 3. Although it was raining, we decided to go for a walk. Although it was raining. Here we have a subject which is it, a verb phrase which is was raining. Though we have both a subject and a verb, we don't have a complete idea. That is why, although it was raining is a dependent clause. It starts with the subordinating conjunction, although. The second part is, we decided to go for a walk. Here we have a subject which is we, a verb which is decided. So we have a complete thought. We decided to go for a walk is an independent clause. If we combine both clauses together, we will have a complete idea. Although it was raining, we decided to go for a walk. Clear, right? Example 4. I went to the store because I needed milk. I went to the store. Here we have a subject which is I, a verb which is went. So we have a complete thought. I went to the store is an independent clause. The second part is, because I needed milk. Here we have a subject which is I, a verb which is needed. Though we have both a subject and a verb, we don't have a complete idea. That is why because I needed milk is a dependent clause, and it starts with the subordinating conjunction because. If we combine both clauses together, we will have a complete idea. I went to the store because I needed milk. Easy, right? Try to construct your own sentences now. Best of luck. Now that we've covered the basics of independent clauses and sentence structures, it's time to put your knowledge to the test with a quick exercise. In just a moment, we'll show you 5 sentences that use subordinating conjunctions, relative pronouns, coordinating conjunctions, and semicolons. Your task is to identify the independent clause or clauses in each sentence. Let's start. 1. I will go to the store if it stops raining. 2. She studied hard because she wanted to pass the exam. 3. The book that she gave me is fascinating. 4. He didn't come to the party, nor did he call to explain. 5. The movie was exciting, and the soundtrack was amazing. Remember, an independent clause can stand alone as a complete sentence, expressing a complete thought. Your job is to identify these independent clauses and recognize how they connect with the rest of the sentence. Don't worry if it feels tricky at first. Take your time, and we'll walk through the answers together afterward. Ready to give it a try? Let's get started. Try to write them in the comments down. Do your best. Now let's have a look on the answers. 1. I will go to the store if it stops raining. The independent clause is I will go to the store. With the subordinating conjunction if, we start the subordinate clause. 2. She studied hard because she wanted to pass the exam. The independent clause is she studied hard. With the subordinating conjunction because, we start the subordinate clause. 3. The book that she gave me is fascinating. The independent clause is the book is fascinating. With the relative pronoun that, we start the subordinate clause. 4. He didn't come to the party, nor did he call to explain. The independent clauses are he didn't come to the party, and nor did he call to explain. With the comma and the coordinating conjunction, nor, we have 2 independent clauses. 5. The movie was exciting. The soundtrack was amazing. The independent clauses are the movie was exciting and the soundtrack was amazing. With the semicolon that replaces the comma and the coordinating conjunction and, we have 2 independent clauses. Now that you're familiar with independent clauses, let's take it a step further and focus on subordinate clauses. A subordinate clause, also known as a dependent clause, cannot stand alone as a complete sentence. It needs an independent clause to make sense. In this exercise, you'll see 5 sentences. Your task is to identify the subordinate clause in each sentence. Here we go. 1. The teacher who helped me is very kind. 2. She went to bed early since she was feeling tired. 3. The movie that we watched last night was fantastic. 4. The cake which she baked was delicious. 5. While I enjoy reading, I don't have much time for it lately. Note that a subordinate clause typically starts with a subordinating conjunction like because, although, after, since, or if, or a relative pronoun like who, which, whom, or that. Take your time and focus on finding the part of the sentence that cannot stand alone. Ready to give it a go? Let's dive in. Now, let's have a look on the answers. 1. The teacher who helped me is very kind. The relative pronoun is who, so the dependent clause is who helped me as it can't stand alone. 2. She went to bed early since she was feeling tired. The subordinating conjunction is since. So the dependent clause is a since she was feeling tired, as it can't stand alone. 3. The movie that we watched last night was fantastic. The relative pronoun is that. So the dependent clause is that we watched last night, as it can't stand alone. 4. The cake which she baked was delicious. The relative pronoun is which. So the dependent clause is which she baked, as it can't stand alone. 5. While I enjoy reading, I don't have much time for it lately. The subordinating conjunction is while. So the dependent clause is while I enjoy reading, as it can't stand alone. Well done! You've now had a chance to practice identifying subordinate clauses in sentences. How are you feeling? Do you have a better understanding of how subordinate clauses work and how they rely on independent clauses to form complete thoughts? If you're feeling confident, that's awesome. But don't worry if you need a little more practice. Just keep reviewing, and it will start to click. Feel free to replay the examples or take a few more practice sentences to solidify your skills. Let us know in the comments if you have any questions or need further clarification. Keep up the great work, and let's continue improving our grammar together. In the upcoming session, we will talk about both the adjective clause and the adverb clause. It will be explained in a simple and clear way. Waiting for you. Thanks for being a member in Grammar and Writing Academy, your destination for mastering English. Don't forget that your support means a lot to us. Like, share, and subscribe for more awesome English adventures. See you soon. Goodbye.